March the 13th, 2025 marks the 12th anniversary of Pope Francis's election to the papacy. Over these years, he has called the faithful to embrace holiness in everyday life, showing that sainthood is possible. He recognized saints from all walks of life, martyrs, missionaries, families, and religious, who lived with faith, service, and sacrifice.
Non dimentichiamoci, ognuno di noi.
Let us not forget, each one of us is called to holiness, to everyday holiness, to the holiness of the common Christian life. Each one of us has this calling.
Il Signore non ci mancherà.
Che tutta la sua persona, la sua vita.
On May the 12th, 2013, Pope Francis celebrated the first canonizations of his papacy. He declared two Latin American religious sisters, Laura Montoya and Maria Guadalupe Garcia Zavala, as saints, along with Antonio Primaldo and his 800 companions, martyred in the 1480 Ottoman invasion of Otranto, Italy. With this first ceremony alone, he set the course to become the Pope who would canonize more saints than any other in history. In 2014, Pope Francis canonized two of his predecessors. Both left their own mark on the Church. One was John XXIII, who during his 4.5-year pontificate convened the Second Vatican Council. Francis also canonized John Paul II, who led the Church into the new millennium. In 2018, Francis canonized another of his predecessors, Pope Paul VI. One woman whose deeds speak for themselves is Mother Teresa. The nun dedicated her life to the poorest of the poor in the slums of Calcutta. The Order of the Missionaries of Charity, founded by her, continues Mother Teresa's work. Pope Francis canonized her on September the 4th, 2016. 1 year later, the Holy Father canonized Cardinal John Henry Newman. Newman was a member of the Anglican Church of England. He converted to the Catholic faith despite much hostility and became one of the greatest apologists for Catholicism in history. However, Pope Francis has not only recognized converts, but also Christian martyrs from other churches as Catholic saints. In 2024, he added the 21 Coptic Martyrs to the Roman Martyrology, the Church's official list of saints, reaffirming the Church's recognition of those who have given their lives for the faith. These martyrs, 20 Egyptians and 1 Ghanaian, were brutally executed by ISIS in Libya in 2015.
Bei Papst Franziskus ist es vor allem wichtig, die unmittelbare Begegnung mit dem.
For Pope Francis, the most important thing was the direct encounter with the other Christian churches. Going together, praying together, working together. That is one dimension. And the other dimension is the ecumenism of blood, which he strongly underlined. Pope Francis asked the question, if our enemies unite us in death, because the persecutors of Christians do not persecute Christians because they are Lutherans, Catholics, or Orthodox, but because they are Christians, if our enemies unite us in death, how can we continue to divide ourselves?
Wie können wir uns dann weiterhin trennen?
On February the 11th, 2024, a momentous occasion took place as Pope Francis canonized the first Argentinian woman, Maria Antonia de Paz y Figueroa. She's also affectionately known as Mama Antula. To the great joy of Catholics worldwide, Pope Francis has paved the way for the canonization of two young Italian men. Both soon-to-be saints are beloved by many Catholic young people for their enthusiastic pursuit of holiness. Carlo Acutis, an Italian computer coding teenager who died of cancer in 2006, is known for his great devotion to the real presence of Jesus in the Eucharist. Pier Giorgio Frassati, who died at the age of 24 in 1925, is also beloved by many today for his enthusiastic witness to holiness that reaches to the heights. Pier Giorgio Frassati died of polio aged 24. His doctors later speculated that he had caught polio while serving the sick. The canonization of Carlo Acutis is planned for the program of the Church's Jubilee of Teenagers that will take place from April the 25th to the 27th, 2025. And Pier Giorgio Frassati's canonization will take place during the Jubilee of Youth from July the 28th to August the 3rd, 2025.